doing our fitness check, our Fit Mind series, which is essentially a series all about how to shift into our next level mindset, right? So we are shifting into another identity. All of December, we are exchanging ideas. We are talking about how to shift into your new identity. There's no way you're going to get that extra 10 pounds off, that extra 15 pounds off, that extra layer, that extra, whatever it is your personal goals are. There's no way you're going to be able to get it off if you are not first starting up here. Okay, so there's no way you're going to be able to do it. So I'm here to help you. You guys are helping me. Every time I'm helping you guys are helping me, because there's always somebody that's a little bit more knowledgeable, and then there's someone I'm a little bit more knowledgeable than. So we're all just one big group helping each other out, right? So if you are new to this channel, it's Embody Pursuit. We talk about health, fitness, mindfulness, beauty, wellness, God, and it's a self-development channel. So we are hammering the identity shifting. So right now I am on my way to my fitness class. Hopefully that is encouraging you to move your body in some capacity today, whether it's walking around the block. I don't care if it's cold outside. I see people on the internet all the time that live in colder cities. They're outside walking. So I always usually have like a soft spot, like, well, it's a little cold, I get it. No. Now I'm going to be a little bit more like, put some fire up under you, because there's people that are shredded and have the bodies of their dreams and live in very, very cold cities, and they just make it work, right? So, they bundle up and at least go on their, go on some kind of walk, or go to the mall and make sure to get your 10,000 steps in at the mall, right? You can go to some kind of like event center and go walk around the event center. Like, there's something that you can do to make sure to, if you don't necessarily want to get in a crazy tough workout or really work out in your living room, go walk around, get your 10,000 steps in. And instead of sitting at home with the kids all day, go and be active. And this is a part of identity. So for example, if I'm sitting around all day, because my identity is so rooted in being somebody that's active, when I'm sitting, I can feel it. Like, I'm like, ooh, I need to move my body at least for 15-20 minutes today to some capacity, whether it's walking on my walking pad. You guys saw me the other day walking on my walking pad, right? Like, I just need to be doing something. Okay, so if you haven't seen the other lives, if you want to catch up with the other lives, it's the Fit Mind, Fit Body series. I do have a playlist that I put together. So you just type in Fit Mind, Fit Body, go to the playlist, and you can catch up on the other episodes. So today with mindset, okay, so with actually shifting into the identity, I really want to expand on the point from yesterday about, if you are always the person in the group that's the heavier one, or you're the person in the group that's the pre-diabetic, you're the person in the group that has thyroid issues, you're the person in the group that has, let's just say, I don't know, you've always been like a little overweight and you've never really liked it, but you've just now grown into the identity of somebody that is kind of like a little bit overweight, right? Like it's just like, this is who you are in the group. I'm here to shake you out of that. Like, don't anchor yourself, because sometimes we will anchor ourselves to something and it's just not true. So for example, when I had gained 30 pounds and never gained it back, okay, and I reference that example a lot because I've been there. I know what it's like to be bigger and to be headed down the road of hitting the obesity stage. And so when that was happening, people in my family and even some friends were like, oh, you're just starting to get thicker. Oh, it's just part of what happens as you get older as a woman. Oh, in the family, we all end up expanding. Oh, like, so it was like people were trying to anchor me to this identity of the family, of the group. Oh, well, you know how Black women, we start to get thicker as we age. It's just what it is. And that's not necessarily untrue, right? Like, as a woman, no matter what, you're gonna grow out of your adolescent body. So that's not what this is about. But I looked in the mirror and I was like, but I don't feel good. Like, I don't feel myself. I don't feel confident. I feel lethargic. I have less energy. I feel like fatigued. I feel like I just can't really think clearly with this extra 25 to 30 pounds. Like, I'm not used to having this weight on my body, and it really is affecting me. So I could have just anchored myself to it. I could have accepted the new identity of like, well, you know, being a black woman, this is how it is. Or even me being half Punjabi, me being a Punjabi woman as well. The women expand on my Punjabi side too. So, you know, I could have just accepted that, right? I could have accepted that, well, when you're headed for your 30s, you're just going to gain an extra 25 pounds. It is what it is. And it's just, I am here to tell you, it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. All right. I know I'm going a little hard today, but it is not true. What society tells you about X, Y, and Z, you have to do your own research. You have to tap in with your own bio-individuality. You have to tap in with, okay, is this really a reality or is it not? Is this a reality, or am I just doing the same habits that the other women in my family and the other men in my family did for us to all end up obese, right? So it's like sometimes shifting into a new identity actually can be very lonely and very isolating, because you might be the only one that feels that tug, that nudge, that urge to be healthier, right? So also too, if there's anybody, just a quick disclaimer, if there's anybody that is concerned about me driving, it's fine. It's legal in California. You can have the camera on and pay attention to the road as long as I'm not typing and touching and scrolling and doing all that. So I just want to let you know I am following guidelines. So there's that. But yeah, so it's, you know, we as women especially, there's a lot of pressure to have to keep up. There's a lot of pressure to always be fighting youth, right? The way that you can easily eradicate that, like easily overcome it, is just to be healthier. When you automatically become healthier, the pressures of society fall away, because you just are feeling so vibrant and healthy and good. And even if you still don't meet the beauty standards, you just don't even care because you just feel better, right? So that's more so what I'm pushing. When I say identity shifting, it's like, do you want to feel your best? Do you want to have the most energy? Do you want to feel the most vibrant? Do you want to feel the most radiant, right? Not saying that you need to compare yourself to another woman looks wise. Okay? It's, are you feeling comfortable in your own body? And if you really aren't, then it's okay to admit to yourself, like, you know what, I have some changes I really need to do. Like, I really need to be honest with myself and be very, very, just keep it real and just say, hey, look, I have a gluttony issue, right? I have an issue where I'm eating at night. I'm stress eating at night. I have an issue where, like, instead of saying, I just like to eat, that's usually what it's kind of like disguised as, like, oh, I'm just a foodie. I just like to eat. I don't really want to work out. Like, it's just, I'm not trying to be a fitness IG model. I don't need to work out. So a lot of times, like, it can be disguised in saying those things, and then secretly, when no one else is watching or no one else is around, you're like, man, I kind of wish I was like a couple pounds lighter, right? Let's just keep it real. These are things that women talk about on the low, right? So it's like, there's like the body shaming movement where, like, oh, you know, we shouldn't body shame, and we shouldn't. But I also think that body shaming is when you make it okay to have 42 grams of sugar every day. I think it's a shame to your body if you aren't drinking water. I think it's body shaming if you don't move your body. Like, I think that we also, there's two sides of the body shaming thing, right? So should we be judging anyone off of their body size? Absolutely not. This has nothing to do with, like, again, any kind of beauty standard, but it has a lot to do with caring for the vehicle, caring for the vessel, caring for the temple that God blessed you with. And it is a shame to shove your body to cope with stress, to cope with depression, to cope with things with an addiction to food. And we just don't talk about it enough. And I know, because I can speak on it because I've been there. I have been for some reason, I don't know why this happened. Maybe it's a hormonal thing. But when I was in high school and college, when I would get really stressed, I had no appetite, actually. Like, I had zero desire to eat. For some reason, when I hit my late 20s, I then all of a sudden started to cope with stress with food. So I have to do more research as to why that is. I don't really know why that switched in my body, but I had always been somebody that, like, I would not want to sleep. Like, I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't eat. And then when I hit my late 20s, it was like all I wanted to do was nap all the time, and all I wanted to do was eat. So all I can think about is that maybe it was like some kind of hormonal shift. And I'm actually doing more research about that, because there is, when you hit 25, 26, our bodies start to technically not produce as much collagen, and collagen is a type of protein. So I think it might have to do with, like, if I were to guess, it has to do with something in that shift of like our body being in such an optimal, like at an optimal level to where it's producing things naturally, certain hormones and certain proteins very naturally. And then when we hit a certain age, it starts to slow down. And then you have to kind of like go out of your, not out of your way, but you just have to shift into a new set of habits to then rev it back up, because you can continue to keep your body producing collagen, but you just have to make an effort at it. There's certain foods, there's certain lifestyle changes and things like that. So if I were to guess, I think that it has something to do with that change in a woman's body during that time period, right? So I was like, okay, this is like, just because I'm spending more years on the planet, that doesn't mean now I'm giving myself permission to get obese. Like, oh, well, my hormones are changing, it's time to get obese. No, we're not doing that. We're not going out like that. There is studies showing that the metabolism of a 60-year-old can be the same as someone in the 30s. That is a scientific fact. That's not woo-woo. There's so many studies out there now. They've also shown that if you keep up with your muscle, you build muscle correctly, and you keep up with it, it can look like the muscle of a 40-year-old. So it's really not till your 70s, like late 60s, 70s, that genuinely, the body genuinely is actually rapidly starting to like make changes. And then there's still things you can do at that level, right? But for some reason, society told us that that's starting to happen at 30. No. No. Usually it's more lifestyle things that happen, right? We're more sedentary. You might have a job where you're sitting down more. You're not moving around as much. And you just have more money. Like, depending on, your financial status, like, you don't have to eat it. You're not a starving college student anymore, right? You can go out to nice dinners and go to lavish dinners, or eat out more often, right? Or have more rich tasting food, right? That's not really, you're eating mainly for pleasure, and you're not eating for nutrition, right? So there's that factor. Okay, so I mean, I don't know about, look, I wasn't I was in the lower middle class socioeconomic bracket. I wasn't able to go to lavish dinners and stuff like that when I was 18, 19, like the 18 and 19-year-olds are now, where they're going to like these 5-star restaurants at 18. That was not a reality for me at 18 years old. Okay. So, there's that aspect as well. Okay. So it's not about what we've been told. When you really do the research, it's like, oh, I actually just need to change like 5, 6, 7 things and keep doing it. And I'll read your guys' questions as soon as I stop. But it's just a matter of like changing. That's why I love my ebook guide, and I think that's why it worked for some of the women that kept reaching out to me, and I was like, let me just put this in an ebook guide. I think what's cool about it is that you can do it with any diet. Like, you can be a carnivore, you can be nomad, you can be, or keto, you could be vegan, you can be vegetarian, you can be whatever other, like all the thousands of different diets that are out there. But the system, the 4 pillars that I have, it's a certain way to move your body to get the most bang for your buck. If you only have 15 to 20 minutes to work out a day, there are certain workouts that you can do. For example, ball slams, burpees, right? Like, you're getting more bang for your buck. And if you did 15 minutes worth of burpees, you're going to be burning way more calories than somebody that can walk for an hour, to be honest. Right? And that's a genuine hardcore 15 minutes, 20 minutes of burpees. So there's different things and tricks that you can do, right? So there's more things that I actually list in my ebook. So if anyone wants to check out that ebook, there's 4 pillars. You can work it with any diet. It's just a matter of portion control, hydration, intermittent fasting, things like that, that help you navigate the different diets. All right, I'm a truck driver. Can you give me advice to do a workout? So, oh my gosh, my uncle's a truck driver. I talk to him all the time. He drives across country. Okay, so he's like the real deal kind of truck driver. He sleeps in his truck at stops and stuff. And he has a couple kettlebells, right? I have one in my car right now, 'cause sometimes I work out at the park. Or not kettlebells. I have a dumbbell, but just invest in like 1 or 2 kettlebells, 1 or 2 dumbbells, get a resistance band, and literally do burpees, do jump squats, do jumping jacks, right? And then just do some like heavy lifting, like when you're at your truck stops, and just come up with like, you can either get my ebook and see exactly what I have done. It's more in an organized fashion. There's really, really good workout circuits that you can do. But yeah, just like do workouts like that, hit cardio workouts like that, and come up with your own little circuit and just do it for 20 minutes every day, 20 minutes every single day. And you will definitely, like, it depends on what your goals are, right? If you're trying to build muscle or lose fat, but if you want to lose fat, ball slams, doing some suicides where you run for a little bit and then run a little further and run a little further as fast as you can. You could do that in like a small parking lot. You can do the burpees. You can do like where you're like, it's kind of like this skating thing, like where you like shuffle, just you could do that too, and lose a lot of weight. So you just do that and you don't stop. You go for a minute, 10-second break. Do the next workout, 10-second break. Do the next workout for a minute, 10-second break. And then after 20 minutes, you're going to be drenched in sweat. All right? You're going to be drenched in sweat. So definitely, and you don't even necessarily need to work out, and you don't need a gym. You don't need materials for that. Now, if you want to step your game up, of course, invest in a dumbbell or 2. What about eating? Because a truck driver there's not a lot of opportunity to eat. So this is the thing. I don't know if you have like the type of truck where there's like a stove and all that, but groceries, like take the time, take the effort instead of scrolling on Instagram. I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying, I'm using an example of what people usually waste their time doing. I have big hair today. I just took it out of my bun. It's like crazy right now. But take the time to go grocery shopping, fill up your refrigerator with a healthy protein, healthy fruits and vegetables, healthy snacks like nuts, almonds, pistachios, things like that. Fill it up with water. Get a blender to make your own juices, and take the time to fill up your refrigerator so that way you're not. And then I know that it comes with a stove, and if it doesn't, then invest in like a stove, like a little cooking, like a kind of like a camper stove that you can just like cook up your own food, your own eggs, your own, get some avocado for some healthy fat, and just make the effort. I actually have to run into my fitness class, but maybe I'll do another video just on this, and maybe I'll have my uncle tell me exactly what he does. Maybe I'll call him with you guys on it, on the live with me. But it's just a matter of making effort. So, and not being on the go or on the fly, or, wake up 30 minutes early, and you're going to drive through a particular countryside where there's not going to be any grocery stores. Load up, prepare yourself, load up before, and then, that way you can drive through whatever state you're driving through, and not have to be concerned about not having groceries. All right. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. I may get on later. And yeah, have a beautiful day. Bye.